There are moments in life where everything you thought was certain begins to crumble. Your heart's pounding, your mind's racing, and there's this voice screaming inside, "This hurts." But here's the truth: what hurts the most often heals the deepest. See, we've all been there. That breakup that shattered you. That career shift you didn't ask for. That loss that felt like the world turned its back on you. And in that storm of uncertainty, we ask ourselves, why me? Why now? But what if that pain was life's way of promoting you? We are not born to stay the same. We are wired for evolution. And every major shift, every breakthrough, begins with a breakdown. Pain is not punishment. Pain is a messenger. It's telling you, wake up. Something greater is calling you. Think about a butterfly. It doesn't become beautiful until it's pushed to the edge inside that cocoon. It literally dissolves. It breaks down. It becomes unrecognizable before it transforms. And you know what? That process hurts. But without that pain, there is no flight. There is no beauty. Pain is the price of progress. Every meaningful step forward in life comes with some form of discomfort. Whether it's the ache of early mornings chasing a dream, the emotional toll of walking away from something that no longer serves you, or the sting of failure on the road to success, pain is always part of the package. It's not there to destroy you. It's there to mold you. Most people try to avoid pain at all costs, not realizing that in doing so, they also avoid growth. The truth is, the very pain you're trying to escape might be the doorway to the version of yourself you've always wanted to become. Think of any significant transformation in your life: learning something new, getting fit, starting a new career, healing from heartbreak. It never happens in a comfort zone. Progress requires friction. It demands that you stretch beyond what's familiar. And stretching hurts. That's why people often quit when it gets tough. But what they don't see is that the pain is part of the process, not a sign that something's wrong. In fact, if you're not experiencing some level of discomfort, it likely means you're not pushing hard enough. The reason pain is so deeply tied to progress is because real change forces you to confront who you are and who you're not. It makes you face your weaknesses, your fears, your habits, your patterns. That kind of confrontation is not easy. It's raw. It's humbling. But it's necessary. You don't build mental or emotional strength by avoiding difficulty. You build it by facing it head-on and getting through it. Each time you do that, you level up. You become wiser, stronger, more resilient. Pain also serves as a filter. It separates those who are interested from those who are committed. Everybody wants the reward, but few are willing to endure the process. The ones who make it, the ones who rise, are the ones who understand that discomfort is the currency for success. They don't run from it. They embrace it. They find meaning in the struggle. They learn from the losses. They let the pain sharpen them instead of stop them. Progress never comes without cost. You might have to sacrifice comfort, relationships, time, or even who you thought you were. That's not easy, and it's not supposed to be. But it's the only way to unlock a higher version of yourself. So the pain that comes with change isn't just something to survive, it's something to respect. It's the evidence that you're in motion, that you're evolving, that you're stepping into more. In the end, it's not about avoiding pain. It's about choosing the kind of pain that leads to growth instead of the kind that comes from regret. Because if you avoid the short-term pain of change, you invite the long-term pain of staying stuck. And that's the most dangerous kind of pain of all. Discomfort signals growth. It's a natural part of transformation, a sign that you're stepping into unfamiliar territory and challenging your limits. Most people misunderstand discomfort as a warning to stop or pull back, But in truth, it's often life nudging you forward. When you feel that tightness in your chest before speaking up, that nervous energy before making a bold move, or that uneasy feeling when you're about to try something new, that's not fear telling you to run, it's growth telling you to rise. Human nature craves certainty and safety, so anything that disrupts the norm feels uncomfortable. But nothing extraordinary ever happens inside the boundaries of what's familiar. The moment you begin to stretch beyond your routine, whether it's emotionally, mentally, or physically, your body and mind push back because they're not used to this new state. That resistance is the discomfort. It's the body saying, "This is different," and it's in that exact space where transformation begins. Growth requires new input, new challenges, and often a new mindset. But stepping into these new layers of yourself means leaving behind what you've known. That's why discomfort feels so intense. It's the tearing away of old patterns and the birth of new ones. It's unfamiliar, and the brain equates unfamiliarity with danger. But in most cases, that danger isn't real. It's just your old identity trying to hold on. Think about when you first started anything hard, a workout routine, public speaking, learning a skill. The first attempts are awkward. You feel exposed, uncertain, sometimes even foolish. That's discomfort. And every time you stick with it, you grow. Every repetition, every moment of staying in the uncomfortable zone builds confidence and competence. People who grow the most aren't necessarily the most talented or gifted. They're the ones who learn to sit with discomfort without backing down. They understand that that uneasy feeling is a temporary phase on the road to mastery. Discomfort doesn't last forever, but the growth it brings leaves a permanent mark. So when discomfort shows up, instead of retreating, lean in. It's not there to scare you. It's there to guide you. It's the body's and mind's way of saying, "You're on the edge of something new. Keep going." Letting go to move forward is one of the hardest, yet most essential lessons in life. Many people stay stuck not because they lack potential, but because they're still holding on to something that no longer fits their journey. This could be a belief, a relationship, a habit, a job, or even an identity. There's comfort in the familiar, even when it's painful. But progress requires space, and you can't create that space if your hands are full of the past. We often hold on to things because they once meant something important to us. Maybe a certain way of thinking kept us safe, or a relationship gave us a sense of identity. But what once served us can eventually start to limit us. Growth means evolving beyond the roles, stories, and attachments that have become outdated. It takes courage to admit that something you once valued is no longer aligned with who you are becoming. That honesty is uncomfortable, but it's necessary for real change. Letting go isn't about forgetting or pretending something never mattered. It's about honoring it for what it gave you, and then releasing it with the understanding that its time in your life has passed. Just like trees shed leaves in the fall so they can conserve energy and survive winter, we must release what's no longer needed so we can channel our energy into what's ahead. Holding on drains us. It keeps us emotionally tied to what's behind, and that emotional weight slows down our ability to move forward with clarity and focus. People often fear letting go because of the uncertainty that follows. There's a void when you release something familiar. But that empty space isn't a loss. It's an opening. It's the beginning of something new. That space is where new relationships, new opportunities, and new parts of yourself can finally enter. If you don't let go, you risk repeating old cycles. You end up reliving the same patterns, the same emotions, the same setbacks, just in different situations. True freedom and growth come when you release what's no longer right for you, even if it once felt like everything. Letting go takes strength. It's not a sign of weakness, but a bold move toward a future that's calling you to rise. It may hurt, but the pain of release is far lighter than the weight of staying stuck. Identity shift is one of the deepest changes a person can experience, and it often comes through pain. Real transformation isn't just about changing habits or achieving goals. It's about becoming a different version of yourself, someone you haven't been before. That requires shedding the labels, stories, and beliefs you've carried for years. People often say they want a new life, but they don't realize that it means letting go of the person they've always been. You can't step into a new reality while still clinging to the mindset of your past self. Our identity is built from the stories we tell ourselves, who we think we are, what we believe we're capable of, what we deserve. But those stories are often shaped by pain, fear, and limitation. And when life begins to push us, when challenges shake the foundation of who we think we are, it can feel like we're breaking. But in reality, we're being redefined. The discomfort isn't destruction, it's reconstruction. It's the process of outgrowing an old identity that no longer serves our future. Sometimes, people hold on to pain because it's tied to who they think they are. For example, someone who's been rejected over and over may start to believe they're unworthy, and that belief becomes part of their identity. Letting go of that story means stepping into the unknown, where they're not sure who they are anymore. And that can feel terrifying. But it's only by releasing that old version that a stronger, more powerful identity can emerge. Shifting your identity means showing up differently. It means thinking new thoughts, speaking new truths, setting new standards. It's uncomfortable because it forces you to stop living by default and start living by design. You begin to make decisions not based on who you were, but on who you're becoming. That shift is where real power lies. It's no longer about reacting to life, but creating it with intention. This process is not instant. It requires consistent choices that align with your future self, even when your old self wants to take over. It's in those moments of internal conflict where the shift happens. Every time you choose growth over comfort, courage over fear, discipline over excuses, you strengthen the foundation of your new identity. Over time, that version of you becomes real, not because you wished for it, but because you chose it again and again. Short-term pain, long-term power is a concept that separates those who merely wish for change from those who actually achieve it. In every area of life, physical, emotional, spiritual, or financial, there's a price to be paid up front. That price is often discomfort, hard work, and delayed gratification. It's the willingness to endure struggle now for the sake of something greater later. While most people are searching for the fastest route, the easiest path, the shortcut to success, the truth is that nothing meaningful is built without effort. The pain you feel today is often laying the bricks of your strength tomorrow. There's a reason why people who go through real challenges often come out wiser and more grounded. The lessons they've earned weren't learned from comfort, but from walking through storms. That emotional and mental toughness can't be taught. It's built. And it's built in the gym of life, where pain becomes the resistance that strengthens your character. Whether it's staying up late to build a dream, walking away from toxic relationships, or facing your fears head-on, those painful moments are not setbacks. They are setups. They're preparing you for the weight you're meant to carry. Power, in this sense, isn't about control or dominance. It's about inner mastery. It's about knowing who you are, what you've endured, and what you're capable of. That kind of power can't be bought or faked. It has to be earned, and the currency is struggle. Short-term pain refines you. It humbles you. It shows you what matters, what you're made of, and what you're willing to fight for. And in that fight, you discover parts of yourself that comfort never revealed. People often avoid short-term pain because they're afraid of being uncomfortable. But in doing so, they invite long-term pain, regret, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled potential. Real power comes when you choose to embrace the temporary discomfort that leads to permanent transformation. You stop living for the moment and start living for the mission. Every small sacrifice becomes a step forward. Every time you show up when it's hard, every time you push through when no one's watching, you're not just getting stronger, you're becoming unstoppable. Because you've proven to yourself that pain doesn't break you, it builds you. And once you learn how to use that, there's nothing life can throw at you that you can't handle. Resisting change is resisting life. Everything around us is in a constant state of motion. Seasons shift, people grow, technologies evolve, and circumstances change. Life is not static, and neither are we meant to be. But often, people cling to what feels safe and known, even when it no longer serves them. That resistance creates tension, frustration, and emotional stagnation. When you fight change, you fight the natural flow of life. And in doing so, you limit your own potential. Change is not the enemy. It's the very process through which we evolve, adapt, and find new strength. Most of the resistance comes from fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of loss. The mind is wired to protect us, so anything unfamiliar triggers a survival response. But the real danger lies not in the change itself, but in staying stuck in a place that's no longer aligned with your growth. You can't step into your future while holding on to everything from your past. Life will keep presenting you with the same challenges until you finally learn to let go and move forward. People often say they want things to be different, but when the opportunity for change comes, they hesitate. They want change without discomfort, transformation without challenge. But it doesn't work that way. Change requires a decision, followed by action, followed by the courage to keep going even when it gets hard. When you stop resisting, you begin to see that change isn't here to break you. It's here to reveal you. It strips away what's no longer needed and brings to light the potential that's been buried under fear, doubt, or complacency. Life has a way of forcing change when we resist it too long. Whether it's a relationship ending, a job loss, or a health scare, these wake-up calls push us to evolve. But when you learn to embrace change willingly, you don't need to wait for life to shake you. You become proactive, flexible, and open to new paths. You start to trust that even when things feel uncertain, there's something meaningful unfolding. Accepting change is a form of surrender, not weakness. It's a decision to trust the process and believe that growth is happening, even when you can't see the full picture yet. When you stop resisting life's natural flow, you allow yourself to move in harmony with it. And in that movement, you find resilience, peace, and power. Change is not always easy. In fact, some changes will stretch you, break you, and test every ounce of strength you've got. But they are necessary. Because without change, there is no growth. Without discomfort, there is no breakthrough. Without letting go, you can't rise. Every painful shift, every moment of doubt, every uncomfortable step forward, those are the building blocks of your evolution. You weren't meant to stay the same. You were meant to rise, to transform, and to step into the powerful, purposeful life that's waiting for you on the other side of resistance. Remember, the pain you feel today has the power to shape the strength you'll carry tomorrow. The discomfort you're avoiding could be the very thing that frees you. The identity you're shedding might be the one thing standing between who you are and who you're meant to become. Don't run from it. Don't fight it. Lean in. Trust it. Embrace it. Because some changes are painful, yes, but they are also the ones that awaken your highest self. So wherever you are right now, whether you're in the middle of a hard decision, facing an uncertain future, or healing from something that shook you, just know this: you are not breaking down, you are breaking through. You've got everything it takes inside you. You are stronger than your fear, bolder than your doubts, and more powerful than your pain. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And whatever chapter you're stepping into next, good luck. But more than that, trust yourself. Because the best is not behind you. It's ahead. Keep going. You've got this.